Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman is recognized for as much time as you may consume.
I am pleased to join Chairman Culberson as the House takes up the fiscal year 2012 appropriations bill for military construction, Veterans Affairs, and related agencies. The Milcon VA bill is critically important to the strength and the well-being of our military, our veterans, and the families who sacrifice so much to defend our country. Working with Chairman Culberson and the members of the subcommittee, we've crafted a bill that will address the funding needs for military construction and family housing for our troops and for their families, as well as other quality of life construction projects. In addition, it will provide funding for many important VA programs, as well as agencies like the Veterans Court of Appeals and the American Battle Monuments Commission. The bill before us today touches every soldier, every sailor, every Marine, and every airman. In addition, this bill will also impact military spouses, their children, and every veteran that participates in veterans programs. I want to commend Chairman Culberson for his hard work. He's done his best to hold hearings that he believes are important to the work of the subcommittee. Together, we sat through 12 hearings, gaining valuable insight into the workings of all of the agencies under our subcommittee's jurisdiction. I'd like to thank all of the subcommittee members and recognize them for their hard work on the bill. I believe that the minority was treated fairly during this process, and I want to thank Chairman Culberson for that. We worked very well in a very collegial fashion, and I think that that is the way that this institution should work. Chairman Culberson has already provided the funding highlights in the bill, and I won't repeat them all, but I'd like to point out a few items that I believe are extremely important. The Department of Defense schools. The bill before us today includes $483 million for the renovation and replacement of 15 Department of Defense schools. 6 schools here in the United States and 9 schools at overseas installations will be refurbished with this funding. Mr. Chairman, I believe that providing the funds for DoD schools will not only help our service members' children get a quality education in a safe facility, but will also give our service members some peace of mind. Medical center replacement. Mr. Chairman, I was pleased that the bill includes $1.1 billion for the medical center replacement in Germany. As you know, a large proportion of the serious casualties from Iraq and the Afghanistan theaters are treated there in Landstuhl, and I'm pleased to see that we're making this very, very important investment. Regarding Veterans Affairs, the bill contains $52.5 billion for advance appropriations for medical services, for medical support and compliance, and medical facilities at the VA, which is $1.8 billion above the amount that was included in the FY11 continuing resolution. Mr. Chairman, I strongly believe that advance funding provides timely and predictable funding for the veterans' health care system. For example, during the delay in the FY11 funding, veterans' health care funding was already in place, and the veterans' health care programs were not subject to the continuing resolution process, and our veterans did not have to go without their health care. Mr. Chairman, overall, the bill provides adequate funding for programs included in this bill. However, I'm troubled by one item. Unfortunately, during the full committee markup, an amendment was adopted to eliminate funding to implement Executive Order 13502, which was issued in February 2009, which addresses project labor agreements, PLAs. Now, if you're opposed to that executive order, that's fine, but using the Milcon VA bill to address this issue, I believe, is the wrong place. The language is purely an ideological and a political provision that really is beyond the scope of this bill. If you want to deal with this issue, we should deal with it on a labor bill and not on the military construction VA bill. The Milcon VA bill has always enjoyed broad bipartisan support and has avoided divisive issues like this, no matter which party held the gavel. I believe that including this language only causes unnecessary complications and does nothing to help our service members or our veterans. Mr. Chairman, please know that as we continue through the process, I'll work to address this issue because an item like this really has no place in a bill that has always placed our troops, their families, and our veterans above ideology. Before I close, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to recognize the staff for all of the work and the time that they've put into this bill. From the Minority Committee staff, I'd like to thank Matt Washington and Danny Cromer, as well as Michael Reed and Greg Browder from my personal staff. From the Majority Committee staff, I'd like to thank Tim Peterson, Sue Quantius, Sarah Young, and Tracy Russell, as well as Alec Fritchie and Evan Iwaki from the Chairman's personal office. I'd also like to thank Mr. Dix, our ranking member, and Mr. Rogers, who set the standard for the committee and for the subcommittees in their collegial relationship and their ability to work together and their effort to make sure that we move these appropriations bills through regular order. I appreciate that very much, and I reserve the balance of my time, Mr. Chairman.
Reserves, gentlemen.